Hi guys, it's Kristi and welcome back to my channel. A lot of you guys may have seen JSH DIY'S slime videos for his no glue slimes, water slimes. I'm gonna be putting his recipes to the test today and seeing if we can really make some good slimes, because whenever he does it,
the slimes look so good.
And it's like only 2 or 3 ingredients. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because I want to test out his back to school slime supplies video and see if we can make some slime out of back to school supplies. And for today's post notification shout out, there are 2 of you guys, and the first one goes out to Alec Chung and Avocado Empress. Thank you guys so much for having your post notifications on. If you guys want to get shout out in my next video, make sure you click the little bell after you subscribe and comment down below when you have done that. I picked out 5 of my favorite recipes from his videos, so we're just going to test them out and see if we can make some really good slimes. So without further ado, let's just get right into today's video. Woo! Here we have all the supplies that I need. We have some containers.
Marshmallow Fluff.
I picked out a clear shampoo. We have a clear soap.
Petroleum jelly because they didn't have the Vaseline at my Target.
And we also have some clear soap. So let's go back to one of his videos and see what the first slime recipe is. 1 ingredient soap slime. That's the first recipe we'll be testing out. So he just uses this, a container, and glitter and puts it in the fridge. This one seems super simple. He really doesn't add anything else in. So let's test this one out. So for the first no glue slime recipe, he said that this requires only 1 ingredient. He did add glitter first though, so I just added some blue and purple glitter to my container. And then he said to take any clear soap or shampoo and to put that in the container. I'm using a dial soap because the texture seemed like it was pretty thick on its own, so I was hoping it would work out. Next, all we had to do was put the container in the fridge to turn it into slime. And he said he waited about 15 minutes and said the slime would be thick and non-sticky. But even after I left it in the fridge for 15 minutes, it kind of just feels like the regular soap texture, but slightly thicker. And when I would touch it, it would kind of just melt in my hands the more I played with it. So I left the container in the fridge for a couple days, and I feel like it helped a little bit, but it's still pretty sticky and melts kind of quickly. He only shows himself playing with it for like a few seconds in his videos, so maybe his really turned out the same way. It looked great at first, but that's probably why he kind of cut off the results. And then just for fun, I even tried adding a borax to see if it would help cause some kind of reaction, but it just melted the soap slime down even more. I would say this kind of worked, but it's definitely not a regular clear slime. It's a very jiggly, slippery slime that melts quickly. The next recipe we're going to test out just involves a clear shampoo and water, and basically we're going to put this shampoo in the fridge, let it get cold, and mix it in with some water, and it's supposed to make slime, so let's test this one out. For this next recipe, he said to fill a container with water about 1/8 of the way full. Then he said to add an even amount of shampoo in the water and to let it sit while the rest of the shampoo gets cold in the refrigerator. So off camera, I then just added about 3 times the amount of shampoo, and once I did that, I just started mixing all the contents together. It definitely was not forming a slime like in his video. His was thickening and forming as he was mixing it, but my slime just kind of looks watery, so maybe it's the type of shampoo I use compared to his. I tried finding the exact same one he used, but I couldn't find it at Target. So I let the slime sit in the fridge for a couple of days. It definitely thickened up a lot. It's a pretty similar consistency to the previous slime. It's jiggly and slippery and definitely did not turn out as thick as his. The next recipe that we're going to do involves ice, salt, and a clear soap. It just seems like it's kind of the same thing as putting this in the fridge because the salt's just making the ice colder. But let's just give this one a shot and see what happens. For the next recipe, this is a viral way of turning hand soap into slime with just ice and salt. So I filled up my bowl with ice and I'm adding in kosher salt. I couldn't find a big thing of regular salt, so I thought maybe this will do because the salt's just making the ice colder. Then I just placed a clear container in the ice and filled it with hand soap. I also wanted to add some color to it, so I added in some pink and orange food coloring. This part was kind of messy, not gonna lie. I probably should have done this before I put it in the ice because it was kind of already starting to form into a slime. So after that, I just let it sit for about 10 minutes like he said. But even after the 10 minutes, I feel like it still had a pretty jiggly consistency. It wasn't that sticky at first, but it started to melt and become stickier the more I touched it. I also let this one sit for a couple days just to see what would happen. It did get thicker, like right when I poked it I noticed that it definitely felt thicker, but again, the second I started playing with it and holding it, it just started melting again, and that's probably just because of the soap consistency, but it just didn't look as thick as the one in his video. For the next recipe, all we're gonna need is some Vaseline, and then we're gonna need some
clear soap.
And I think just some salt, and this one takes a few days for it to become a slime, but let's start the process and see how it turns out. This next one was a recipe I was so excited to try out. So all we needed is Vaseline. He just put a few scoops in a container and added some hand soap and then just mixed all of that together. This was actually pretty difficult to mix, but I tried my best. From mixing, you can see that a slime isn't really forming. It still looks like the original Vaseline texture. So he said to add salt and let it sit for a few days. I was actually so hopeful for this slime. I thought this was going to be the best one because just look at how his turned out. His actually looks like a thick, holdable slime. I swear he must have added something else to his slime because my texture is just so far off. I even tried adding a little more hand soap and my consistency still looks like the original one. If you guys tried this one and it worked, let me know what I could have done differently because his turned out so awesome. For the next recipe, we're taking Marshmallow Fluff and we're also incorporating Diso clay and a little bit of clear shampoo. It's supposed to be a fluffy kind of slime, so a little bit different than the clear slimes. I'm super curious because I feel like Marshmallow Fluff kind of already has like a buttery slime texture, so let's see how this one works out. For this next recipe, I just took a couple spoonfuls of Marshmallow Fluff and put it into an empty container. I then added in some Diso clay. I decided to add yellow clay into this one to add a little bit of color because why not? And after that, I just added in some clear shampoo just like he did and mixed everything together. It took a while to mix the clay completely into the Marshmallow Fluff, but after I did, he then said to just put the container in the microwave for 30-second intervals until it's solidified. I thought this was pretty interesting because the thought of just putting this into the microwave seemed like it would just make the slime melted and gooey. And after I did that a couple times, that's exactly what it did. His texture ended up turning so glossy and thick though. I really don't get it. Maybe I just didn't microwave it enough, but I was literally microwaving this until the plastic was forming holes and it was not solidifying at all. I even tried letting this container just sit out uncovered for a few days and it still had a very sticky texture. This slime was super messy to make and it totally did not turn out how his did. For the next recipe, we're just gonna need some clear hand soap, water, and salt. And all of these three ingredients mixed together is supposed to make a really nice, thick, clear slime. So let's try this recipe out. For the last recipe, I'm just taking some clear hand soap from Method and I put it into a container. He then said to add some salt into the hand soap. I only had kosher salt for this, but I gave it a shot anyways. I kept mixing and mixing and the hand soap was just not solidifying into a slime at all. Maybe the kosher salt has a different reaction from regular salt. And then I just let this one sit in the fridge for a few days as well, and it just didn't form into a slime at all. Not even a jiggly slime, it was completely liquid. At least the color of this one looks pretty. It has a milky look to it, but other than that, this one was a complete fail. And that's all that I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and watching today's video. Like I said earlier, if you guys want to see me test out back to school supplies and see if we can make slime out of them, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and I'll definitely do it. And if you guys aren't already a member of the K-Squad, hit the red subscribe button down below and join the fam. I post about twice a week and I post all slime related content. So if you guys love slime, definitely hit the red subscribe button down below. I have so many fun and exciting videos coming up. I have a huge mystery slime unboxing coming, a kawaii slime company slime shop review, just so many other fun slime videos. And I'm also going through a rebrand with my slime shop, which will be launching very, very soon. So thank you guys so much for staying patient. So many exciting things coming to my slime shop and my channel. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a member of the K-Squad. I love you all so, so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!